Hey guys, welcome to Friendship Shaving. I hope you're doing very well today. I'm going to be shaving with a very simply scented fresh soap today. It is Tea Tree and Lime from the Nordic Grooming Company. I like this one. The lime is nice and fresh and the tea tree certainly adds something to that. I'm going to be using my vintage hard right brush today, and it is called the Lime Beater, and I assume that relates to quicklime, the alkali, rather than lime, the fruit. I assume it was used at some point in the manufacture of soap, and perhaps it was very difficult to lather. So anyway, an old brush. I'm going to be using today a straight razor. Well, I've got out my Wade and Butcher. There we are. And there it says, Wade and Butcher, Sheffield. So sometime pre-1891. We'll take some of this lather off today. I've used my Perrieres shaving bowl today. A nice big bowl, plenty of room in there, which I like. And we'll just start putting this soap on. I've got a Plissoft type knot in here. So we'll just work that around gently using the tips just to moisten and lift the bristles a little bit. Now I think I've got a reasonable lather. I had too much water initially and too many bubbles in my lather, so I had to go back to the bowl and back to the soap, and add a little more soap to the bowl. Now I think we're about there now. Of course the tell is in the shave, so we won't really know until we start shaving. Going to start something a little bit different today with regard to cleaning my razor. I've got a little makeup sponge and I've got that just lightly damp, and I'm going to wipe the blade with that, and rather than running it under the tap, see if that works. Now I'm going to dry my hand before I pick up the beastie. This is a near wedge, as you can see there. It's basically a big triangle. We will just wipe the blade, put a bit of moisture on it, and we will start to shave, and I will see how this blade is. I used this in the week, and what I found was that initially it was a little bit, it was pulling just very slightly, needed a little bit of a sharpen up. So I used the chrome oxide paste on my strop, and I went a bit overboard on that, and the last time I shaved with it, it was super sharp. It felt like, I don't know, if you were comparing it to a safety razor blade, maybe it felt like I was using a feather razor blade rather than a Gillette Platinum or something like that. It was certainly very sharp indeed. So I have stropped it and so far it feels a little better, a little bit smoother, not quite so lethal, but of course I won't really know, I suppose, until I go against the grain. That seems to be when you notice these things a little more. I have some razors coming to me. They are in the post from America, so I'd like to thank Mike. Now that worked quite well, didn't it? Just wiping the blade, and of course I can just rinse that and give it a squeeze in my water. That works quite well. So I'd like to thank Mike at Duke City Vintage Shaving, who has kindly gifted me two beautiful looking razors, a double duck dwarf and a lovely FW Engels razor. So I am very much looking forward to receiving those, and yeah, thoroughly recommend that you go and have a look at Mike's eBay shop, because I think his restorations look fantastic. So there we are, got those on the way in. This feels quite nice actually, this Wade and Butcher, after having a little sharpen. It made me wonder, for you guys that shave with a straight razor, you know, I've just got some, where is this? There we are, I've got some green paste, some green oxide paste. What's it called? Chromium oxide, that's what it is, on my strop there. But also, I suppose another thing that you could use is the old barber hones, just a hard stone. I think a lot of them were synthetic, just to run the razor over 3 or 4 times and refresh it in between customers. Now I've never used one of those, or I've never tried to, you know, use say my finishing stone to bring the razor back. I just wondered, you know, what it's like, and do any of you guys do that? What has brought that to mind is that I was looking at a little essay written a long time ago now about shaving, and the gentleman that wrote it was talking about a Franz Swatty barber hone. Apparently in the day they were renowned for being very good. But I did see one for sale, new old stock, and it was very expensive. But yeah, those are barber hones. They look quite interesting. I suppose it's just another way of achieving the same goal, just refreshing the edge of the razor. I think tea tree and lime really go together very nicely. I used to put tea tree in my sink water now and again with certain soaps. It has very good antiseptic properties and quite a distinct scent. So yeah, the lime beater. Did you know that soap, the first recipe for soap, was written down in ancient Babylonia 4,500 years ago? By a woman working in the wool industry who realised that using ash from a fire pit and mixing that with oil remove the fats from the fleeces. Of course, soap was used before that. Butchers apparently used to use the ash and water to remove grease from their tools, their knives. So, very interesting. Of course, they didn't realise that it was a sort of soap that they had made, but very interesting nonetheless. And it wasn't until 1,000 years after that Babylonian recipe was written down that the Hittites used it for washing their bodies. Before then it was just used for washing and removing grease from clothes or items. Can you imagine not having soap? What if that action of saponification, when you add an alkali to a fatty acid, what if that just didn't happen? I wonder what we'd use, eh? Oil, probably. Ooh, nearly. There we are. We'll use my little sponge. I like that. It's keeping this area of my razor dry. Oh, a bit of a wobble. And now that I've concentrated on it, it's worse. Just get on. Stop faffing. Actually, I'm getting quite a lot of water on the blade with that sponge, as you can see there. Yeah, that feels quite nice, guys. My face is very dry. Could have done with a little drop more water on my skin, I feel, today. But we've done okay. We'll have a rinse and we'll see how that goes. I'll just wipe this blade. On the old Wade and Butcher. Started at about 1820, Wade and Butcher in Arundel Street, Sheffield. Robert Wade was the father of the gentleman also called Robert Wade. That was the link in America. So yeah, very interesting history, Wade and Butcher. Fabulous, fabulous old razor. Big bit of steel on that. Oh, I've got a bit close up there, let me tell you. We'll put a little bit of alum on, I think. Oh boy, up there. Bit there, and especially there is quite a little bit sore. Just a little bit there. So the alum is going to really help that. Help the skin to heal. That's what it does. It also, I find, not the same piece, but it works very well as an antiperspirant deodorant. Fantastically well, in fact. So, but don't use the same bit, guys, for goodness sakes. Now I'm going to use one of Bart's balms. Today I'm going to use Ben Kraken. If I can get it in the light, I will. It's the lime scented one. So I'm just going to dry my face. I would normally clean up and then rinse the alum on my face. You don't have to, you can leave it on, but apparently if you use it every day and leave it on like that, it can make your skin a little bit dry. So I've been told or read somewhere, I can't remember. So this is a very nice balm. Beautifully scented. For a very close, nice shave. You take care of yourself, guys, and I will see you next time around for a shave with a safety razor, and it'll be one of the new razors that I've had in a den from a Byron Shaving Company. So look forward to that. Have a good week in between now and then. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.